No,
I've never had to write those. I'm not going to start now.
I thought it would be so funny if we did have one episode where you gave it out to everybody and you could hold up our cards and make us say stuff. But
Yeah.
then I was like, I don't
We kind of tried that with the J Willow thing,
know.
like a little bit.
A little bit. You mean with what Jay Will wrote?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But I think
Yeah.
I love Jay Will. And I think some of them were funny. But I think you'd have
Yeah.
a better grasp, if you will, if I could say. Let's see here. There we go. Let's do live notification.
Like I can't even get the mouse to go over to the power button.
Oh my god. It sounds annoying.
It'll move about an inch at a time, and then I have to let it sit, and then I can move it another inch. Come on. You can get there. You can get there. But she always gets treats when she comes back inside. It's the only reason she likes to go out.
Let's see if I can get some.
Good. He's still in his stroller.
Post that there. Twitch. Really need to get that. Oh, the horse with two legs.
Horse with two legs.
Hey, you want a horse with two legs? You want to buy a horse with two legs?
Oh, yeah. Barn.
That was Aurelius.
Oh, okay.
That's still one of my favorite fucking shorts and jokes from the whole thing. Well, I hope. Hi, Ashley and Tegan, if you're watching. I know you said you might pull it up on the way home. Hello.
Hello.
Gotta wait till we do this disclaimer. That was my fault this time.
I didn't hear you say anything.
Good. Good. Hopefully they didn't either. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's working. That's fine. Ahoy! From across the floodwaters. Hello. So I hope you made it home safely and without incident. It is not raining here anymore, so I think all is well on the home front, as they say. Hey, Jay Will.
I thought it was the Western Front that all was well on.
I don't want to say that. It feels like a disingenuous thing to say at the moment, if you know what I mean.
No.
The West is fallen.
Ah. Sorry, Greece.
To Gooners. Did you say Greece? Sorry, Greece.
They consider themselves to be one of the fathers of Western civilization.
Greece?
Yeah.
Really?
They're like, we gave you philosophy and yogurt.
I mean, two of the pillars I live my life by, so.
Right.
Yeah, hard to be a. Yeah, well, damn. I did not know I needed that much respect for Greece. Not that I didn't have no respect for them.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're watching Greece,
yeah,
you're fine.
Yeah, we love you for sure. Don't take my idiocy as a slight, please. Well, what is it the thing says? Never attribute to malice what can be attributed to ignorance.
Yeah.
Or dumbness in my case. Excuse me. I need to get a new notebook for the new campaign. And I have one, and it's got the gold. Oh, we don't need these today. Do you think we'll come up with any more any different ideas for like gimmicks? Or do you think we'll stick with the
We'd ask the audience if they liked that.
mm-hmm.
I'll be doing something. I know I'll be doing something different than I know a guy cards.
Oh, okay.
Because you might not know people where you're going.
Oh, fun. Interesting. Oh, yeah, and especially if we're from like faraway lands.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what the boat's about.
always liked boats. Is there going to be any women on there that I can paint like my French girls?
You have to come up with a different word than French, but sure.
Franc, Franc
Why not?
girls. Was it yeah, good, good. I might be a painter then, or just a humble. What was he? Just a poor guy?
Yeah, and I am giving everybody 3 bonus skill points that they have to put into a hobby or profession,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
that way I encourages you to meet NPCs that at least share an interest.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, and he, so don't pick like I enjoy writing poetry in the dark alone, uh, but be like I'm okay sitting around, a sewing circle for hours, working on my little sweater or
Mm.
blanket or whatever, talking to all the other
Sewers.
town gossip, yeah.
Okay.
Or hang out with the local blacksmith while you're making a new sword for a couple of weeks.
Mm.
The campaign will be a little slower,
Okay.
where each
Excuse me.
sessions might represent like a week or two.
Mm.
Um,
Jeez.
Maybe not like every session, but
Yeah.
like,
So I was going through puberty when I yawned. So
oh,
that
sure.
was not a reaction to what you were saying.
Because you guys might go to a town and then actually stay there for a while and kind of narrate like what you've been doing, and then based on that, I'll be like, okay, so you've ingratiated yourself with the following community, and
Nice.
then we'll actually build up some trust and reputation. And
Okay. I was considering actually doing follower of Edith
sure,
and being Jake from State Farm or whatever the joke was that we made at the time, and taking points in performance drum circle.
yeah, yeah, absolutely,
So it could be that's back on the table,
yeah,
which is good.
yeah. She loves druids and clerics and all sorts of.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. Druids to me, like they speak to me in a way that like I don't know if I could speak back. If that makes sense.
Nope.
Like I feel like I would. I feel like druids are cool, but I have never participated with druids in a way that felt like I was doing them justice. If that makes sense. So this might be the opportunity.
Could be.
Drum circle druid. Drum circle. DCD. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Yeah. And also the Edith guys are like pretty chill.
Oh yeah.
And one of the I'm trying to like I said, going through voices. So one of them could be like the hey guys, like what's up? Like, it's all cool. We're good. We're on a boat. I could turn into a seal, whatever. Yeah.
By level 4, you won't have wild shape yet.
Damn. What's
But
the point of being a jerk?
you'll get wild shape level 6,
Curse you levels. Okay.
which is good because one of my rules was no easy ways off the island at the start.
Right. Oh yeah, I suppose that would be well. Wild shape doesn't last for
Uh,
indefinitely, does it?
Hour per caster level.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I'd make it very far for.
yeah, and 4 hours is a long time to be a seal, but yeah,
Oh, true. I don't know much about seals. Where's Shelby? I need.
who knows?
This is the migratory path of seals and how long it takes them to get from A to B. Sweet. Well, if I guess I suppose I should still do the intro,
Yeah,
um, and then we'll kind of like break the ice about what the epilogue is,
yeah,
and then I'll let you take over and start epiloguing, and then once it comes time to do the back and forth, then we can do the back and forth.
yeah,
Sounds good.
sure.
Sounds good. All right. Or a bird. Yeah, birds can. I could be an albatross, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd sleep while flying.
Yeah. Oh, love that. All right. This is The Legends of Low Rolls. It's a dumb, chaotic, wildly inappropriate comedy podcast where dice are cursed, brains are optional, and absolutely no children should be listening and or watching. You have been warned. I'm Carl. I'm the director and producer, and I play Cheems and Quinby and um, a very strangely named lawyer at one point that I can't remember the name.
Yeah, the only lawyer we all remember is Crudge Bludgeon.
Yeah.
Crudge Bludgeon.
Grudge Bludgeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stole my soul before I could even start. Hey, Caitlin. And yes, that is Pancake the cat.
Cool. So,
Would you like to introduce yourself?
oh yeah, I forgot what we were doing. Cool. I'm Adam. I'm the dungeon master, storyteller, story architect.
Yeah.
All sorts of fancy little titles. But basically, I'm just the guy that tries to talk the most, and everyone looks at me when they're done talking. So,
You're also the one we pray to and ask forgiveness from, and
not that it's ever done you any good.
not for lack of trying.
No. Although I will say, this adventure, the dice have been the true villains.
Yes. 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 Poor Ribbert's character card and every dice that has been attached to that character sheet.
Yeah, it is absolutely wild. Like none of that was faked. Like the minute Ribbert handed over his character sheet to me,
Mm,
uh, I went from rolling 20s to rolling ones like that.
yeah.
Like I couldn't roll above a 10, like immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't, there's things that happen, we named it the Legend of the Low Rolls specifically because you and I both share the belief that low rolls should be important and funny, but
Yeah,
they should mean something,
right.
right? And I had no idea that Shelby was going to come in and they were just going to
Become the embodiment.
become the. Yeah, exactly. Just bring the low rolls. But even I think episode 3 we named it is that a crit fail? And there were 6 crit fails. I think 3 from Shelby, 2 from Trevor, and 1 from Logan.
Yeah,
And I did not participate, but I think I'm. Am I the only person who died?
yeah,
3
3 crit fails
crit
in a row.
fails in a row. Yeah, lovely. So,
But you're also one of the few people whose final characters did make it to the end of the campaign.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you and Shelby, I think.
We survived. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And Verlies made it to his final session, so
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yep.
definitely count him.
Yes.
Tonight we're kind of doing a little bit of a semi-formal, informal question and answer session. Anything that you guys have that you want to talk to us about in the chat, absolutely more than welcome to throw your questions and comments in. We'll monitor that as closely as we can. And then a few of our cast members couldn't be here today. I see Kyle's in the chat, um,
Hi,
but
Kyle.
but Ribbert is unfortunately ill, and
Mike
Mike has a show.
show. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mike is doing. I think his pre-show final dress rehearsal. I believe it was.
yeah.
So
So that's very exciting for him.
yeah, I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah,
We'll see. And
and so they sent us their epilogues.
yes, and real quick, Caitlin, Pine Eyes did not die. No. But Pine Eyes was Kyle's 3rd character, so technically Kyle's character did not make it to the end.
Yeah,
2 of his characters.
yeah. He started with Hyde, which he played for a little bit.
A good while.
Yeah, and then he played Rocket, which he didn't play very long at all.
2 episodes,
Yeah, and
maybe.
then he played Pine Eyes to the end after that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Pine Eyes was a good boy. So was Rocket. He was a victim of the low rolls.
Yeah, but not his own.
Yep. Thanks, Shelby. It was good TV.
So the first thing that I have for everybody is a Maviolus adventure.
Oh, I should have named mine.
Well, you have time while I'm doing
Oh,
your
shit.
first.
Oh, okay.
So Maviel, played by Mike, sent me what his character would be doing after the events of the final session. And yeah, that's true. Pine did die a couple of times, but we were able to bring him back. So Maviel writes and is dramatically read by me. After hearing that Nathaniel, aka Mr. Canoe, had trapped Vivian without a cause, Maviel decided that the only just thing to do was to release her from her prison. He took the first opportunity to take possession of the box and left without the rest of the party, and he continued, though, as the rest of the party continued their exhausting debate about travel plans or some shit. Unfortunately, Mav didn't know how to get into the hells, and so he had to search for a way. While traveling, he and Vivian would often chat, and the two of them began to develop a friendship, or at the very least, when Vivian would say something uncouth or that he didn't like, she got to erase his memory of that, and he thought they were developing a good friendship the whole time. Uh, they connected over similar trauma that each experienced during their imprisonments. Vivian even grew fond of Mav as a companion, of Mav's companion Rabbit, named Buttons, who developed a nightly routine of building a nest around the box and guarding it as they rested. After months of searching, they met a tiefling named Catal, who offered to guide them to the entrance that she knew about through the Underdark. In exchange, she would get to accompany them to the river and collect silt and other important items along the way that would help her stay alive. In order to do this, they must first rescue Catal's partner, a deep gnome by the name of Xeric, from a band of kobolds that were holding him captive in the woods. The rescue was fairly easy, and the group waited for the lone kobold to separate from the rest, and Vivian took their memories. They explained to their new kobold friend that the gnome prisoner was also their friend and that they needed to release him and bring him back to him. After he was successfully reunited, the party fled, soon realizing that they had forgotten to return the kobold's memories. Vivian, of course, knew the whole time that she had them, but didn't care. Um, Vivian eventually agreed to return the kobold's memories, but by the time that she does, the kobolds decided that their new friends are way nicer than their old ones, and that they wanted Vivian to continue to hold on to their old horrid memories of being hazed by evil little nasty kobolds in the Underdark. And so now, a human, a tiefling, and a deep gnome, with their kobold friend and imprisoned demoness, joined with their rabbit to walk into a bar. I mean, in the Underdark.
Yay. I did not pay attention to that at all because I was trying to think of clever names for my. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I'm so happy that Mike was so invested in a character that showed up for
Three?
3 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe four?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's going to be some lore for our other characters and campaigns to come to happen upon, if you will.
We do have a question from the chat from Tassie. I think that's who is that for?
I copy pasted it just so we could address it later.
Oh, okay, great.
But the question was, why on earth was your first instinct on seeing an ogre vomit? Hey, I'd like to eat some of that. It might have healing properties. And I have no idea. I have no idea.
Who ate ogre vomit?
Maybe that's from that could be from All Ogre These Balls.
Maybe.
But I don't remember. Yeah, there's 48 episodes.
Yeah.
And they're all 2 to 3 hours long. So if we're missing a funny joke, Tassie, please let us in on it. There's a dog getting mugged outside.
That's what it sounds like.
Um,
And there was also a Crackle Through Time, which also featured ogres,
Yeah.
but I doubt anyone's seen that.
So I think the next one would be Quimby.
Sure.
Trying to go in order of the characters who have appeared and disappeared.
Oh, Carl did get the episode right.
I did. Nice.
Yep. That was from your first entrance into the Adventurers Guild.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good episode. Big fan. So, what?
No, just remembering the Adventurers Guild. What a time to be alive.
One time. All right. So Quimby's epilogue is titled Curiosity and Obedience. So Quimby was never really an adventurer, even though he has an adventurous mind. The battle with the Lady of Chains reminded him that he's cut out for science and curiosity, not combat. Between Nathaniel's seemingly passive-aggressive villainy and Ribbert's tumultuous, monstrous encounters, Quimby decided to cross blue mages off of his worth exploring list. So he retired back to his research tower with Brendar in Dova, where they continued the work of finding a true ascendance potion. The Lord of Dova had funded Quimby's potion research, in exchange for a potion of pure obedience, which he could put into the populace's drinking water to gain absolute control over his subjects. Quimby created the potion, but It was if you drink it, everyone will obey you potion, inversely. So Brendar delivered it to the Lord, and after drinking it, the Lord actually became absolutely obedient to Brendar instead. So she instructed him to drop the pursuit of the potion, continue to fund Quimby's operations, and to do his absolute best to improve the quality of life of his city's people, leading to a brief but glorious time of comfort and peace. This also led to the city folk be very relaxed and open to Quimby's antics, potion experiments, and the swell of wandering adventurers happening upon the city to participate in Quimby's potion emporium tests. He began to host many strange adventurers and travelers, testing a multitude of new concoctions with often potent, hilarious, and sometimes explosively colorful side effects. Quimby's curiosity was often infectious, but not infectious enough. He wanted to infect the plains themselves with humility and curiosity by ascending and becoming the patron god of curiosity, hopefully ridding the world of ignorance and arrogance, if only for a brief time. So to this day, he and Brendar continue to run. How can I describe it? Goofy
Arcane experiments.
arcane experiments.
The other thing that I wanted to say about Quimby that the audience might not be aware of is when we were running auditions for this very podcast, Carl DM'd 45 games or whatever it was, where it was Quimby running you through these potions, and it was just drink the potion. He was writing down what happened. You roll on a list. Now
Mhm.
talk like a cowboy potion. Great.
Well, yours was
You think you're a bat, and
you
I
think
was a
you're
half
that.
vampire to begin with. So it's like I started biting everyone, and it worked.
Yeah, yeah. And then the second one was your skin turned inside out,
Yeah,
and it didn't hurt, but it made everyone very uncomfortable. Which
yeah,
is I love that too, because how do you everybody else has to pretend that you're disgusting, and you're just like what, and it was very funny.
yeah. And then the third potion that my character ended up having was after we rolled the smoky confinement, and we got the hardest one,
Oh,
the red dragon. I got the Mario Superstar potion where I was like invincible.
oh, nice. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that. Yeah, it was fun. And now I think trying to translate that into the actual campaign was really fun
yeah,
as well. As a very just a fun character.
yeah. Okay. The next person we're going to address is Rocket. Uh, Kyle didn't send me a thing for Rocket, and that makes total sense because Rocket has been dissolved through time, going back like
Yeah.
about 100 years.
Carl personally requested the Rocket backstory
Yes. Well,
or epilogue. Sorry.
yeah. Well, it's part epilogue, it's part currently happening, it's part pre chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the sort of overarching story of my campaign world, there have been a number of players who have done uh, made rather unfortunate decisions that have caused the world to get to a state where it was utterly annihilated. Um, Too many campaigns ended with the bad guy doing the thing and the world goes worse off for it. And I kept running campaigns to like try to fix those problems, and maybe they'd fix one but cause two more. And eventually I had an apocalypse game where this was like, hey guys, this is your last shot. You're level 15 heroes with double wealth. You have artifacts at your disposal, and the gods themselves, I'm giving you a flower, and the flower has 6 petals. Each one summons a god to like do a thing for you. Can you fix any of the problems you've caused that your old characters have caused? And they fixed a few, but and then they didn't do anything else, and so the world was destroyed. And so in the future after that, I have a sort of post-apocalypse world that I've run a couple of games in, and it's low magic and it's awesome, and humanity's struggling to survive in like these just little pockets of easily annihilated meat. Like they're just like what am I trying to say? They're like little fast food centers for monsters roaming around, but
Mm.
like they're just getting swarmed all the time. Um, but they're trying to rebuild, and it's fantastic. But since that takes place in the future and it's low magic, one of the things that took place in this future world, from the point of view of this campaign, is when wizards try to get fancy with time travel, they might go too far and end up there where there's not enough ambient magic to come home. So they just built like a traveler's lodge, and they're like, ah, well, we're all powerful wizards and out there is terrible. Let's, sit here and talk magic theory and see if there's something we can come up with that'll eventually get us home. Um, Rocket's chronoparticles that he was dissolved into will eventually drift forward through the time stream, and some of these wizards will take notice of those, and they'll start like setting up a magic circle that will collect these. And after a few months or maybe years of that, where this like ball of time, what they originally thought was like raw time magic, actually starts to coalesce into the form of a raging barbarian pigman, they'll have a decision to make where they're like, well, we can either restore him and collect them all up and put them at the same time, or we can just use this as raw energy to try to get one or more of us home. And so that is what's happening with him. And that will probably be an event in a campaign in the future low magic world, where the players will get, they'll run into the lodge, they'll see what they're doing with the pigman, and are you going to oppose the only wizards that exist? Even if they're low power, they're way more powerful than you. But they're also considering doing something that you might find morally wrong or interesting. Who knows? But that's what's going to happen to Rocket literally in the future.
Nice. Yay, Rocket. The Pigman.
Or Time Battery.
Orc Time Battery?
Or Time Battery.
Oh. All right. I am going to do an approximation of Pine's epilogue for Kyle.
Okay.
It would be called Pine Takes Root. And after the events, the soonest thing that happens was that Pine Eyes returned with Quimby, Brendar, and Cheems to Quimby's tower to continue to watch over his friend Shivers, the Cryophoenix, eggs, and attempt to raise those children to be a better Cryophoenix parent than their father before
Good
learning
luck.
from his mistakes of the past. But during his stay with Quimby, Pine, being the way he is, participated in helping with experiments and things of the sort. And part of the payment for helping was helping to return Pines to as close as to the approximation as his original self prior to the painful changes he went through with the party. So he is now back to essentially what he was before. And then after the Cryophoenixes went on their own, he went back to Grobulos to follow up with Cheems about opening his tea shop within Cheems's cheese. I guess
Emporium.
the storefront. Yeah, the storefront part of the cheese factory or emporium. And after having opened the tea shop,
oh yeah, because it's all cheese whiz.
Yeah. Well, I think Cheems would see that Pine is trying to do something a little less what's the word for it?
Whimsical.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Like or because like the cheese shop is more like, let's make a product and get it into stores, whereas having a storefront that feels fancy and like an experience that Pine was trying to facilitate, very like, if I can say, very Locke inspired.
Sure.
And James was like, so gave Pine and had Step and help Pine to kind of facilitate that more into like a charcuterie board cheese experience with Pine's tea.
Tastings every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. And at which point Uh, Locke Coppersmite, having heard of a new tea shop, came to visit and reconnected with his old friend Pine. Uh, at which point Pine was like, "Hey, my tea is okay. Can you help me?" And Locke, I'm assuming, said yes,
Yeah,
of course.
absolutely.
And so they began working together to further create a great tea and cheese experience in Grabulos, and mostly put aside adventuring, aside from overhearing Cheems talking about with Cassandra about the mind flayers and
An ongoing problem, to be sure.
an ongoing problem, and offering up again to be Cheems's either steed and or football assist throw. Yeah, I will throw you like a spear. Um, and so yeah, mostly Pine has retired from adventuring to have his uncle Iroh redemption arc. Well, I wouldn't say redemption; he's a pretty chill guy.
Yeah, so if you guys are ever in Grabulos, definitely stop by the shop and
Yes, and see the old boy. Um, and then yeah, I think let me yeah, I think that's it. If I missed anything,
Kyle, put it in the chat.
player presence. Yep, how about that? Yeah. So yeah, yep. I think I got it all. Yeah, yep. Yeah, and obviously Pine would be uh yeah, I'll get to that in the other epilogue.
Yeah. So Verilius, everyone's favorite little clown boy. Uh,
Clown old man.
that
He's like 2,240 years old, right? I think.
yeah, which for an elf is still
A b- a
maybe not a boy, but uh, fledgling,
mm,
teetering on the brink of adulthood.
nice. Yeah.
Um, God, I would hate to be an elf raising a child.
Oh God, yeah.
Well, let's see. If we put a copper a week into a college fund, we'll have way too much money by the time that he knows what college is. Um, anyway, so as everyone saw, he started out the game pretty jolly. Went on a few villainous little arcs. Some of his pranks maybe got a little out of hand, according to local children's mothers. Um, and fellow party members and potion shop owners. But he eventually did come to terms with his own actions, and he went on a special little redemption arc. If anyone caught that episode, it was pretty good. He was joined by Seraphina, the we'll call her a noble, um, and it was in the vault in Grabulos, um, where he sort of professed that he was abandoning his evil ways and was going to go on a sort of. If anyone's seen the show, My Name is Earl. It's a sort of a similar redemption arc where he wanted to go to uh, to each person that he had previously wronged, or at least as close a simulacrum as he could, and sort of make up for his wrong deeds. We actually saw him do that with the child with the broken nose, and he brought his dad a nice steak, and it was a touching moment. And he definitely would have continued doing that in the area surrounding Grabulos until he sort of proved himself. Then he would have went into the city, probably visited Barnold Shrine with Cheems fairly often to talk about what we're going to do to bring him back, because I know he probably wanted Barnold back at least as much as Cheems, if not more.
Oh yeah.
So but when you guys sort of realize that that's going to take some time to even just raise the funds for a wish scroll, he went back to his hometown up in Mesero. Not Mesero, sorry. I gotta go look at my own map. Starts with an M. Nope. Cool. He went back to his hometown in Penitest,
Mm,
which is in the sort of northern desolated area just on the coast. He had actually given his deed that he got as a reward scroll to his good friend Wimbledon.
from Dipple Wimbledon.
That's the one, as a birthday present from his I Know a Guy card. And so he, obviously he wouldn't be at that residence. So he just used the place like it was his. But trying to redeem himself, he did at least leave it nicer than he found it.
Nice.
And so that's where he is now, sort of just waiting for Cheems to send him the word that we're getting ready to move on the Barnold thing.
Nice. Performing any circus acts or?
Well, more like children's birthday parties and just like street magic as he's running other errands and trying to be a good person.
Sweet.
He's using his tricks for good now.
Speaking of Cheems, Cheems's epilogue is
Who
titled.
was that again?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
No one's favorite character, that's for sure.
Cheems's epilogue is named "Squeezy Cheese, War Machines, and Flayed Minds."
Wow.
Yeah. So Cheems couldn't give up adventuring, but mostly stayed within the Adventurers Guild, doing big adventures locally with Cassandra in Grobulos.
Cassandra.
Cassandra?
Yeah.
I've said that wrong twice now. Cassandra. And me and James are one now. Their work, alongside the city paladins in ridding the city of the mind flayer infestation, would uncover a deeper conspiracy and a more dire plot than they could have imagined. And this would be the adventure that would define them, either ending their stories as courageous do-gooders or solidifying them as heroes of Grobulus for generations to come. But when he wasn't doing that, he wasn't adventuring. He was traveling back to work with Dewface, the goblin tree god, to further enhance their trade agreements and to try to better the goblins' lives and their local image with neighboring towns, which desperately needed. While waiting for his squeezy cheese, weighted blankets, and his instant language learning and speaking magic, name pending, to take off, he funded his efforts alongside his cousin Stepin and the Goblin Four Eyes by selling more practical war weapons at discounted prices and crazy fast production rates. After finding local notoriety, he reconnected with his friend Ribert to lift the simian curse that had befell him many years ago. Now an ordinary halfling, Cheems would go by his birth name Reginald, Reggie for short, and would re enter the world of dating, which was its own ridiculous adventure.
Because it wasn't going well for you as a monkey.
Yeah. Now he doesn't feel weird about it, though, when people are like, oh, you're cute.
Now it's just a racial stereotype.
Yeah, right. So so even though he did return back to normal, quote unquote, he did commission Quimby for some potions that could revert him to his monkey form to continue being the mascot and brand ambassador of Cheems's Squeezy Cheese. So he can make public appearance.
Right.
And also, if there's a girl who he's vibing with and she's like, oh yeah, Cheems, I really wish I could meet a man like Cheems, and he can be like, oh, speaking of which, it's me. So then in an effort,
Oh, that's not a costume?
In an effort to release Barnold from his void prison, Cheems continued purchasing scrolls from Xavier of a potent combination of wish and freedom of movement spells. This would release one being from their void prison, and much to Cheems and the city's dismay, it was always random, and there were a lot of creatures and abominations banished in void spheres. Though before every orb was pulled from the void, a call would always go out to the Foxglove Hollow crew that the attempt would be made on the following morning in hopes to reunite the group of friends once more.
Nice.
And that includes Pine.
Right.
Because he's in the lobby.
Yeah. Very cool.
Ribbert. Unless there's a character. I mean, we could recap Barnold, but Barnold's in a sphere of void.
Done.
Yeah, there you go.
As far as Barnold is aware, no time has passed.
Love you, Trevor. Miss you.
There's.
Oh, yeah. That is true. Yeah, I imagine Sheems walks in one day as Reginald, and Pine is just like, why does your voice, did you steal a voice from Cheems?
Well, I mean, I imagine your vocal cords would be different. It would just be mannerisms and
Oh, maybe. Do I have a Brooklyn accent as a monkey and I just talk like a normal person? Is that
I mean,
happening? Is that,
I mean, accents aren't vocal cord things,
yeah,
but the pitch might shift up or down.
maybe. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I got to think about that now.
so Ribbert didn't send me an actual story per
Mm.
se, so I'll just read it verbatim.
Says, I'm just chilling, bro.
Yeah, this is what I got.
I
So,
like soup and sandwiches, bro. Is that...
so I was thinking for Ribbert's epilogue,
okay.
since we kind of want to keep it open for more adventures, he's just keeping it with Nathaniel, training, raising Bob, with the hopes to be strong enough to at least stay hidden and then move freely. Eventually, track down and confront the person that brought him into existence. Um, and then he'd eventually confront that guy, and that could be a future endeavor or something left open for a fanfic or whatever. Shaw, dude.
Shaw, dude.
Shaw, dude.
Nice. Okay, well, okay.
Yeah, so I'll expand on that. So Nathaniel is, as we saw, an incredibly powerful figure,
Mm.
but he is undeniably cruel, and there's kind of a reason for that. Um, Blue mages, by their very nature, they have to either be hermits or have a personality so abrasive that nobody wants to be their friends,
Mm-hmm.
because as soon as people know the things you can do and how easily you can do them, it's like being the only guy in a small town with a truck. You just have to help everybody move all the time, and it fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, I don't care how much beer you offer me. I'm not. I'm not doing this every weekend for everyone in town. So, and not only that, but the outsiders of all kinds are definitely trying to kill them because they are the number one threat,
Mm-hmm.
to like taking over the material prime or whatever machinations you have in the works, because they can counter anything you want to do. But it's yeah. So that's sort of where Nathaniel is coming from. There are 4 other blue mages, none of which are as mean as him. They take other routes to ensure their secrecy and privacy. But he wanted an apprentice, and Ripper was just going to get himself killed way over his head. So he's like, "All right, I'll take a chance here,"
Worked out.
and it worked out in his and Ribbert's favor. I was having so much fun in this campaign. This is just me talking about DM stuff now. Um, just using Nathaniel to pit Ribbert against himself and then against himself, and just like constantly gaslighting not only Ribbert but like the rest of the party too.
Mm.
And just like, and by leaning into everything Cheem said about him, because he was already saying about himself, just like immediately defused everything that Cheems was saying. Because like Ribbert was like, yeah, but I already heard that from him. So how bad can it be that he's a total dick and going to abuse me? Like, he already admitted it. It's fine. It's like, God, this is working so well.
Yeah.
But I couldn't show it.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. So Ribbert is, like Nathaniel, going to become an incredibly powerful figure, but even like as abrasive and rude and mean as Nathaniel is, there's just no way that's going to rub off on Ribbert.
Oh yeah.
Like Nathaniel will finally move on, have Ribbert under his thumb for things that he needs Ribbert for, but Ribbert will be an independent agent, just walking around, shot dude,
Doing the Ribbert thing.
doing the Ribbert thing,
Yeah.
and not just spreading curmudgeon-based midgery everywhere he goes.
Yeah, you don't blue mages don't gain malice by being affected by it. So
Exactly.
yeah, that's funny.
So Ribbert is definitely going to come up in future campaigns as well.
Nice.
Like, this happy little hippie frog walks up to you, and then it dissolves you through time.
Yeah. Oh no.
It was aiming at a bird.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. uh, that's great. Yeah. So I guess as the DM, do you have any um characters or like side characters that you'd like to uh, give a bit of an epilogue for that you particularly, because essentially they're all your PCs.
Sure.
So if you have any that you would like to touch on,
DM PCs.
yeah.
I mean, the audience definitely only wants to hear about one of them. Super James.
Oh,
Right.
Jimmy
Oh,
Pembroke.
yeah, that would be might be the other one.
Yeah, yeah. The ogre who got kicked in the balls. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah, he was the ogre from the Adventurers Guild was released back into the wild.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah,
Half the man he used to be.
I'm sure he recovered. It was enough.
So Zippy James.
Yeah. Yes, that is wise, Tassie.
Mm-hmm. Potato turtles.
Yeah, so Super James did have a really weird dream where he ascended to like, I've got more than one soup, and everyone seems to think it's great. Um, and that's sort of what he took away from the dream when he woke up and it was all a bit hazy and he wasn't there for any of the Nathaniel parts.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the dream actors were focusing on that. So like the town just became a ghost town as after everyone was like, oh my gosh. And then he was like, where's everybody? Did my soup do this? Oh. And then he wakes up and weird dream. But two soups. It's a great idea. So he got a second cart and then he like taped them together because he hasn't met goblins.
One day.
One day. Oh, yeah. I can talk about Hurley the Crystal Troll as well. That was another very early NPC that we met, Jay Will. So Hurley the Crystal Troll is a troll. He was guarding a bridge. He is made entirely out of like crystal. You can see through him. Light like refracts, and like you can see its component colors. Very pretty. But he also has a strength score well above 40. And he took all of the feats for like increasing your carrying capacity. And he could throw anything that he could carry as a medium load, which was about 30,000 pounds when all the math was said and done. And then if you throw something that it weighs a lot, you just assign damage based on weight. So it was like 300 d6.
Yep.
I have to find something heavy again, and he spends about 6 rounds like pulling a tree out of the ground and throwing it at you. So that was another one of my really old characters that I played like maybe a decade ago.
I love that.
So I just like having him show up every once in a while, just guarding a bridge. You got to pay me. I don't really know what money is, but I want it. This is a noble profession of trolls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like when we met Hurley, it was like this guy feels unique enough that probably not a good idea to engage in a fight with him. Did not realize that he might have threw an entire building at us. So that's fun to learn. But yeah, anytime we run into someone where if like as soon as you told me that bird, the undead bird was a dude sitting on a branch. And you're like, it's a druid. And I was like, this is probably one of the characters that someone has played before. Yeah. And there's a couple of them like that. Like, was it Tuffles?
Yep.
That was another one.
No, Tuffles has actually always been an NPC.
Is he been? Nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I would be curious to like go back over and be like, oh, like, was Wind Chimes a player character? Because if not, it's my next campaign.
Yeah, Wind Chimes all yours. I've never played Wind Chimes. Knife Turkey.
Knife Turkey. If I do Knife Turkey, can I do that class that gets like 10 attacks in one round?
Monk?
Sure, I'll do a monk again with knife.
Yeah, or you could consider yourself like a automatically dual wielding rogue, and just
there you go
because I'm made of daggers.
Yeah,
1 blade, 2 blade. Yeah, and that way you get a bunch of sneak attacks. You just waddle up behind somebody and
yeah. What the fuck is that noise?
Yeah,
Wind chimes. Nice. Yeah. So then,
So Jimmy Pembroke,
oh yeah,
who is created specifically for this campaign, is I just needed an inciting incident at
episode 1,
episode one. I needed an inciting.
episode -2,
Sure.
technically.
Yeah. When we were working out all the camera equipment and stuff, we recorded 2 episodes that
Mhm.
they were really fun to play, and they told a great story. But the audio was
Yeah.
very hard to watch.
Yeah. It'll be on Patreon eventually if we do end up doing a Patreon
Yeah,
thing.
maybe we can find like a nice AI that can like remaster the audio.
Something. Yeah.
Um, yeah. But so for those of us who weren't in the room, um, I needed an inciting incident to start the campaign. It was a deluge of rain, and they were talking to. Oh yeah, so mom, Eleanor, was standing near the door and like kind of pushing this little boy forward, like, yeah, you can go talk to them. He kind of like waddles up. Can you guys help me find my pets? And they're like, oh yeah, of course. And they like look out the look out the window into the rain, and they see this like old man with an eye like falling out of his face and like a unhinged jaw just about to like eat a rabbit. And I was like, well, I really hope they think the rabbit is the pet. But I think it was Barnold that was like, that boy's zombies escaped. Let's go round him up.
Yeah. There was, I think it was, well, and just to be clear, when you described it initially, it was just an old man holding a rabbit.
Yeah.
And so someone was like, oh no, his old man got loose or something.
Yeah.
Look, let's go. And then we walked up and you described it. And then I think Barnold was like, clearly the zombie is the child's pet. We need to, and yeah.
And it was.
And it was, yeah.
He was a prodigy necromancer. And he was just like going to the graveyard and digging up bodies. I think we made a joke about like uh off-brand Fisher Price
Oh, yeah.
baby's first play necropolis or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That he had sort of in the backyard with like a high fence.
Hmm.
But the rain had like washed out part of the fence and the zombies got out. You guys tracked him down. So they eventually got a bunch of money together and they actually sent him off to college in Grobulo so that he could attend like a wizard school and
Hmm.
like enroll himself to like, hey, maybe you should learn about these forces that are behind beyond your comprehension, um, and maybe teach him a thing or two while you're there.
A little bit dangerous.
Yeah.
It was essentially like walking into a neighborhood and the kids just got like guns. And his mom's like, he's good at shooting guns. They're like, oh God, get him into a shooting school or something. Good Lord, this is going to go real bad.
Yeah, and it absolutely could have. So his life is going to turn out pretty well.
Nice. Hell yeah. It's a win for Ribbert and Cheems and Barnold and Verlius.
Sure is.
Put that one in the book. I think we do.
You guys also found him 2 really good like necromancy based weapons, the spear and then the scythe later, which you like put in a sort of a trust fund with his mom that was like, okay, on his 15th birthday you can give him this.
Oh yeah, that was one of my favorites where Ribbert was like, give me that stick back. Like, you gotta, like, hold on. It's just a really funny time there. So we do have some questions
Yeah.
from players. And also, again, at any point, if you guys have any questions that you want to ask about, then feel free to post it in the chat.
Yep, Twitch or YouTube. We'll check both.
So I think we kind of already answered this one, but I will ask it again just for posterity's sake because Kyle did ask it. But he said he thinks his biggest curiosity is about what plans Adam had in store for Rocket. Like you guys had discussed a lot of things what you wanted for Hyde, where his story could go with the family, but Rocket didn't nearly get as much as planned before joining the story. So it was more he was in the dark about where it could have gone.
Yeah, so when Kyle was in the process of like making Hyde and sending me messages about Hyde, I actually had a kind of a while to think about it. But then Hyde died so suddenly, and we had to bring Rocket in. I didn't give it as much of a pre-thought. So I was just gonna sort of go with the flow and see what happens with Rocket's story there. I didn't have a lot planned out initially, and then when you were obliterated, I didn't have to keep thinking about it. So that kind of worked out for me.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um, my all my questions have disappeared.
Well, you can answer who was. Did Tassie ever say who they were talking about? Like, who actually ate the ogre vomit?
I don't think it was me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, so I have a question,
Sure.
um, or I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
First one I want to know about is obviously the skeleton monkey in the mirror,
Yeah.
and then subsequently, no skeleton monkey in the mirror. And if that is also tied into the teddy bear.
Nope. Completely different.
Okay, we'll see that now. Well, I've got more questions after you answer this one.
Sure. Where do you want to start?
Well, I mean, just with the skeleton, that was.
Sure. So Broseph lived right outside of the Lich's Woods, which is one of the sort of most preeminently haunted areas south of the Mountains of Time. There's more haunted things happening north, but that's just because.
Go north next campaign, is what you're telling me.
Well, you won't make it there. Uh,
Good to know.
but Mildred is running around with an army of undead. It's just inherently more negative energy, so there's going to be more hauntings.
Okay.
But in the sort of peaceful middle part of the map, this is the most haunted place. And so Broseph was going out into the woods every day, bringing back haunted lumber and building a house out of it, and just sort of going mad and insane. So there's just a lot of spookiness and just general negative energy that was manifesting in all sorts of different little ways. And so we also saw that that your reflection in the mirror is real. And you actually went without a reflection for a little bit first. Like your mirror image was actually killed, and then it was reanimated from the other side of the mirror by one of those spooky forces from the woods. It still wanted to kill you, like all mirror images do, but eventually, most things that make undead don't control them forever. So eventually it just hit a point where it needed a different undead for doing different things. You can only control so many, so you just release your old one.
Oh.
And then you got a new mirror double.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah. And that was like, all right, it's my first day on the job. I just got to do what this monkey does. And while I spy on him and hate him and resent him for having the life I wish I could have.
Which they do have, technically, but
nope.
Reversed.
As soon as you're not looking at them, they just start seething with nothing to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
That's one of the reasons that they hate you and they're so jealous.
Oh.
Their world only exists in disconnected little fragments that are in the reflection. So if you're in a room with no reflections, there is no mirror version of that room.
Okay. Gives me an idea for a character.
Yeah. I once made a character who's like, there's spells that let you travel through the mirrorverse. I'm going to build this little nexus and all these interconnected mirrors. It'll be so great. I'll reconnect the continent. Anyone can go anywhere. And then just accidentally unleashed a bunch of murderous mirror images that were just murdering peasants. I was like, I'm so sorry. Let me shatter every mirror I see from now on.
Yeah.
I am no longer Oro the mirror mage. I am Oro the sad.
And Oro the man who made a big mistake.
Yeah.
Whoops. That's great. Okay, so then I suppose the next question is the teddy bear. I guess the main question is.
The main question is what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because there's it's one of those things where there's plenty of things I could ask about where it's how did XYZ work? But it's well, I think Shelby said it best when they said, I would ask questions, but we're going to be watching and having more adventures later on. But to me, it's well, let me ask about the ones where it's I don't know if there's going to be another shape-shifting bear that bites off body parts,
So the shape-shifting bear that bites off body parts and does many other things.
Many other things.
Is one of my most recurrent NPCs.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I don't want to hear anything about it.
Exactly.
Perfect. Cool.
Very few campaigns have not met him.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Okay. Well,
yeah.
The thing. Okay. Well, then never mind. Then I guess Uh, oh yeah, here's a good question. What was the right question to ask the fucking Oracle?
Oh, the
Or the
soothsayer.
yeah, Linda the Soothsayer. Like that's that's there's times when you're playing as a character where like thankfully um Cheems and my intellect in the mysticism overlap, right? So like there's things that Cheems that I didn't play Cheems knowing, even though I was very aware
Sure,
of what was going on, but I was like, Cheems wouldn't know that. But when it came to
that's the right way to play a character.
yeah, and when it came to Linda the Soothsayer, I was like, even Carl would not know what the fuck. So like if I was playing Quimby, Quimby would know what question to ask because that's how Quimby operates.
Right.
He's very, like sees beyond it, but Carl would not know how to play Quimby in that moment.
Yeah, at which point you would say, if you were Quimby and you were in that situation and you gave that exact argument, I would say, okay, well, go ahead and roll an intelligence check or a wisdom check, and then I'll tell you what he would have come up with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sort of how you play a character that's like smarter than you or wiser than you
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of situations, just as general role playing advice. But I mean, it depends. Like the questions that you did ask were fine. I think Pine was also there asking some questions. Those were less fine and more expensive. It just depends on what you wanted to know. And there's a lot that she could have told you about that you
Yeah.
didn't ask about, but that doesn't mean that it was wrong not to ask them.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, I suppose what it boiled down to was I don't know if it was necessarily just that there was like a long break
yeah,
between because I think it was we did the thing and then we're like, all right, next episode we're gonna go talk to Linda, and then I think it was Virilius episode,
yeah,
and then I think it was Ribbert episode, and then in the middle of the Ribbert episode we did the conversation as well. So it was like it was
yeah.
just like, but yeah, there was um yeah, so like the rat thing, um
Yeah, the rat thing was sort of disappointing to me, like from myself, because I was sort of trying to present two different plot lines at the same time, but they had one sort of overlapping theme.
tentacles.
Uh, Tentacles and vermin, and like just sort of like a like plague and vermin, and
Mm,
uh,
mm-hmm,
like, and it was too hard for me to like show you guys that those were separate. So whenever you found a lead here, you would try to chase it over there, and I'm like, that lead
mm,
goes nowhere over there, and it's sort of my fault because my two quests weren't separate enough.
mm-hmm.
So I just couldn't figure out how to get you on the right path, or figure out how to be like pretend that it was really one thing the whole time.
Right.
And eventually, we just got you on something else.
Nice. Yeah, and like not to say like don't be disappointed, because we feel the way we feel, but I do like that is one part about D&D that I find particularly, I don't want to say satisfying, but satisfying in a way
Sure.
where it's like, because when you play a video game, it's like you talk to an NPC and they're like, here's some encryptic shit, and some hints. And you're like, oh, maybe if I go over here, and then you go over there and it's like, this NPC's not talking about it at all. It's like, okay. And then you go talk to this NPC and they're like, and you might not be able to put it together, but then you go on the internet
Right.
and you find it, and then it is like, oh, that makes sense or whatnot. But in D&D, especially with the dungeon master telling the story from a perspective of the world,
Yeah.
like, and in real life, experiencing and investigating things, like you will always
Right.
there's always going to be intersectionality of connecting dots that shouldn't be connected,
Right.
and it's like I don't fucking know what's happening here. um
Right. Every lead that I'm running down is a dead end.
yeah.
Everyone's like really confused why I'm even asking about it.
Yes, yeah, and I love that. Like,
Yeah.
I think, and to me, that's part of D&D that feels like you're genuinely investing into things that, and it's like, oh well, I want it to pay off, but like sometimes shit just doesn't pay off.
Right.
Um, and we can ask about it at the end of in the epilogue.
Right. Yeah. And thank you as well, Tassie. there is indeed something very human about not getting answers.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah,
That's what I was going for the whole time.
that's my plan. Um,
Prove I'm human.
yeah,
I'm just trying to solve a capture to log into a website. That's what this whole campaign was about.
right. So then I think I had one more. Oh, yeah. So I think that kind of leads into the other question is, was there like, because I know since we were doing it sandbox style,
Yeah.
that like we discussed off screen or off stream, is that there's a lot of times where you're essentially like a fisherman and we're in the pond and you're just trying to dip a little bait in there to be like, look over here, like look over here. And was there any in particular that you dropped that you personally were like excited about, that we just completely fucking ignored and or just walked away from?
No, I don't think so. My dungeon master style is always throw you more plot hooks than you can handle and just see what you find interesting,
Mm,
and then we expand the story in that direction.
nice.
Especially when I do a sandbox game like this.
Mm,
So I never really had any expectations for what you would or wouldn't do.
yeah.
So which made it very hard to be disappointed by you making choices that I didn't want. Because if I didn't want you to make a choice, why would I have put that plot hook there?
Mhm.
Right? They're all my children, and I love them all equally.
Yes, I learned that very quickly. The first time, or not the first time, but the most recent time I DM'd and was like, oh, like I gotta like let me just put in some interesting characters and put it on a boat so they can't stray too far off the path right off the gate. And then immediately they were like, yeah, but what if we did something you never thought that we would do ever? And it's like,
And then they look at you like, "How did you not expect this? This is the only option."
yeah. And the only option at the time was selling a person they just met into slavery.
Right?
And it was
We had to.
like, how am I supposed to like, well, hold on a second. I was like, we're going to end the session here so I can think about what would happen after you made this choice. And there's like, what do you mean? Like, good Lord, I was not prepared.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, let me go find a dungeon master who is prepared. So that way they can deal with it, which you do flawlessly.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a very
Thank
nice
you.
thing to say about something.
Let's see. I think that's in terms of my questions. I think this might be one of those things where if I had spent like the past month re-watching all of the episodes and you know reliving the thing, then it'd be like, oh, here, definitely want to know about that, or like definitely want to know about that. But like
Yeah.
for me, it was like thinking back on it, like what are the like three things that are just like what the fuck was that type thing. And I think those were the three that stood out the most, honestly.
Sure.
And like the funny thing is some of the questions were answered in the epilogues, like Ribbert and Nathaniel description. Because like for me, like I want to ask about Nathaniel
Yeah.
because from Cheems's perspective, he was very much like, "Fuck this guy,
Yeah.
I hate this guy."
Right.
And from Carl, like as Carl playing the character, I was like, let me lean into that because it's funny. But then when I switched to Quimby, and then I came over, like I had no animosity towards Nathaniel, and then pretty quickly Quimby was like, "What is wrong with this guy? Like,
Yeah.
I'm awkward, and this guy's real fucking awkward." So it was, it's one of those things. But then when you answer it in terms of like, "Oh yeah, well, like as someone who's essentially has to be a recluse, just by nature of existing, you know, that's how people exist sometimes." And since the other ones can be nice, it's
Mhm.
proof that you don't have to be that way. But
Right.
it just happens to be that this is the way that this guy is. And but it's
Right. Because he also wants people that he does like let in to the degree that he does. He wants them to know how powerful he is. Whereas a lot of the others are just like, I'm going to pretend to be a normal dude,
mm,
and if I am close friends with somebody, they'll never know I'm a blue mage.
right.
But Nathaniel's he's too egocentric. He's like, he cannot let
Yes.
the opportunity for at least a couple people to fully experience me at my ultimate form.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that it's funny too because like when we initially got to the tower, and it was just kind of like going back and forth. It was like, oh, maybe Cheems was off base, and then like the more he talked to Pine, it was like no, like Cheems was spot on, man. Like for this guy,
Yeah.
like, read him like a book. So it's just I love that too about the storytelling of D&D, where it's like, especially, I don't think a lot of people. I think a lot of people, like I would have been sad if Cheems died,
Sure,
for sure,
yeah.
but like I'd be sad if Quimby died, and I'd be sad if Ribbert died. I'd be sad if Barnold. Like anytime a PC dies, it's like maybe Hyde, give or take, but like Rocket, like that was sad. Fucking if Pine Eyes died, right? But then, like that's D&D.
Yeah,
the whole point is that your characters could just evaporate at any moment and be stretched through infinity of time. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah. We did get a good question in the chat, though.
Oh, perfect.
Tassie wants to know, are there any things that you would change in the next campaign? And the answer to that is yes. So as Carl alluded to in a couple statements ago, we had initially built this campaign as a sandbox, run around, see what my world is about kind of thing. In the next campaign, I am going to have a story that I want to tell, beginning, middle, and we'll see what happens at the end based on die rolls and player choices. But there is going to be a definite story thread, at least from the beginning moving forward.
Nice.
Recurring NPCs that are going to be as important when you first meet them as they will 40 sessions later.
Awesome. So take notes.
Notes are going to be good. I hear we record these.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. If only there was someone who watched every episode after it was recorded to make shorts.
Or I thought you were talking about Jay Will.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Who's our official keeper of forbidden lore.
Yeah. And also, if I can answer that from a director's perspective, I think one of the hard parts and weird parts, if you guys want to peer behind the veil, if you will, is having to do, like you have to trust everybody at the table to do what is best for their character. And I'm very fortunate that this time, I think there's only one person I talked to, and it was Kyle. And I said, hey, Kyle, please stop making Pine. Like, have Pine have will or do something. Like, I'm going to give you a headband of intelligence. Use it.
And a dictionary.
And Kyle was like, yes, okay. And then he did. And I loved immediately. Like the very first thing he does is has an argument with Cheems, and I was like, yes, yeah. Like in the moment, Cheems is like, what the fuck, dude? But like Carl was like,
go back to being my obedient slave.
Yeah, but it was such a good, like, just brief character change,
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, as a person who's participating, I watch and I see what people are doing, and I really want to keep as much as I can as director off, aside from like what I talked to with Adam about, like, what in terms of the first sandbox bit, like.
Yeah.
These are the characters, like how do you want us to be? Do you want us to give you small tidbits, so the first was just you and me essentially having a conversation about how do we want it to happen, because aside from that, like it's us just playing a game.
Yeah.
And then everybody, I think, did such a good job of getting into their character that I literally I think that might have been bad that I didn't say like, hey, you're doing great and I love what you're doing, but I also didn't think that I needed to, because it's one of those things where
you get immediate feedback at the table when somebody laughs at your joke.
Yeah, exactly. So it was one of those things where, like, maybe going forward personally, I'll like I think we'll do like a monthly thing where it's like, hey man, I love your character, I love what you're doing, keep doing it type.
Oh, and you also get immediate feedback, and that's one of the reasons that I do the votes at the end, where like, hey, you guys have to say something nice about each other. And hey, look at all the camaraderie we're building.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and it's one of those things too where I hate that I feel like you get less votes than you should because when NPCs gets votes, it gets dangerous for the team,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
because it's
exactly.
like, oh great, now wind chimes can fucking teleport or whatnot. But at the same time, it's like,
Which is going to make them such a better rogue.
yeah, oh shit, do I get that as a class like just built in? So it was. Did you have a question, Jay? Will let's see here.
Yeah. Jay Will asked, "Are there any ideas or ways you can see Jay Willow appearing in future campaigns as an
Mm,
NPC, plot point, or a playable character?" Uh, I don't think I would play him as a player in a game because I was like coming up with my own things to like fit whatever story my dungeon master wants to tell. But definitely an NPC and maybe a plot point. He's definitely going to be a place of refuge that because he's right there next to the haunted woods. So
mm.
if like somebody's like coming out screaming from the haunted woods, hey, you want to come in here? I can protect you, keep you safe. And ooh, what are all these creepy women all wearing white doing up here? Don't worry about them.
They're
Check out the
nice.
cool plant misters in your room.
Yeah, there you
And you want a
go.
mushroom? It'll help calm you down. Oh, you're so much better than the haunted woods, but it's such a low bar.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be a very fun NPC.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think if you were here and able to play with us, then that would be a great playable character for you. But I don't think any of us would want to, it's like wearing somebody else's skin.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right. I mean, there are times where it's funny, but
And Mike did a great job playing one of my old characters. So, I mean, it's certainly possible.
oh yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Especially for like if it's like, hey, we need someone to drop in and we need a character, like that would be hilarious, and I
Yeah.
would love that.
Especially since Mike had no idea like what 3-5 was even about, and then I just hand him a 14th level warlock
All
capable of
right.
doing like 200 damage around.
Yeah, just like
Okay.
okay, let's do it. Yeah, he nailed it too.
Yeah.
Just the yeah. Um, yeah. Any more questions?
I didn't see any in the chat. Just some sage advice from Tassie if you want to read that.
D&D's collaborative storytelling. Everyone has to be writing and writing in the same book and about the same world. That requires a lot of work at the table and away from it. Yes. Yeah, and I think too part of it's one of those things where I think we like I think the one thing that next session I'm going to be kind of like adamant about is like
Next
respecting
campaign?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, next session is session 0
Sure.
and we'll talk about some things, but it's like respecting that everyone knows their character better than you do, right?
Yeah.
Like I know Cheems better than anyone else does. Logan knows Verilius. Kyle knows Pines. Shelby knows Rupert. So, and as a director too, to like message someone else and be like, you should play your character different is a weird thing. But at the same time, it's like, uh, respecting that the person's making choices and that they have purpose behind those choices,
Right.
and like when you lose the trust of like, or you start to believe that somebody else is not playing their character that the way they should be playing their character, it's like it gets to be a weird line,
Yeah.
and it's like, and as a director to have to be like, if I had to do that, that's something that we would do after the show, obviously, and
Yeah.
we would do it all together, unless it was something like, hey, quit being, put on a smart headband. But yeah, it's when that starts to, as soon as you cross that line, then it just gets to be rough for everybody at the table. And there's things in your campaign and your world that I think the easiest is the grotesque circus,
Sure.
where two of the people thought it was some vile, disgusting, like what is that? The Pinhead character from Hellraiser,
Oh, sure.
where it's like like this evil, awful, torturous. The wage is bad. The get no time off. So having a misunderstanding that deep of you know two characters' backstory,
Yeah.
and then one person's operating from the idea that they just came from the worst possible place on earth, and the other person's working under the idea that they came from essentially like a fun haunted house.
Yeah, exactly.
Then it's like, the incongruency there
Yeah.
can just
And that's exactly what Tassie was saying, where we all have to be writing the same book.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I think that's a sage advice, and especially just to put a pin on that is that one of the biggest parts of D&D that if you play with somebody and you play, make sure you always have solid communication
Oh yeah.
on the table, off the table. Always make sure that you're willing to reach out and to talk about stuff.
Yeah. Had a thought, lost it. Oh, the Grotesque Circus, by the way, is super happy fun times. It's a little off-putting, but it's meant to be that way. But it is perfectly safe. Any halfling could take their child there and also leave with their child, um, without being scarred for life or kidnapped or murdered or anything like that.
Yeah.
The god who watches over it wants people to come back because it's a business.
It's a business. Yeah, Doble.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was hoping that
the
we
clown with the tummy mouth.
yeah, did we meet I feel like we had a brief passing with Doble.
Yeah,
And not as much as I was hoping. But it seemed like everybody else was like, let's go do something else. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
yeah,
But yeah, cool. I think in terms of resolution for the characters, um, one thing I was kind of concerned about with two of the cast members leaving on
oh sure,
sudden notice was like, you know, in terms of story, uh, it seemed like the first story arc wise, right? The first real story was betrayal with Barnold being a doppelganger,
yeah,
which fundamentally broke just everybody's trust of each other. But we stuck together because we were a team, right? And
yeah,
then Barnold got sucked into the core of the earth, which was just like, here's some more trauma
yeah.
for you.
After you just gotten back,
After we just got him back, yeah, the real one. So then, like, I wasn't sure if that was going to be a through line that would be, that we could like touch on more. But then, we had a lot of experiences where we all worked together and we were good teammates and good teamwork. And then you put that fucking fiend in there,
yeah,
and my God, I've been part of a lot of campaigns and I have faced a lot of difficult monsters.
hmm,
And that motherfucker
oh yeah.
destroyed
It's my favorite prestige class
his
found in the Fiend Folio.
it's so good.
The very last page of the Fiend Folio.
Yeah. And like as Jeems, like, you do can disconnect yourself from your character.
Yeah, of course.
Like you have to because you're playing a character.
Yeah.
But at the same
And
time,
again,
when you're performing the character and like the tensions are high, it's easy to be like, it's easy to feel that,
yeah,
and to be like, ugh. But then when it's all done, it's like, oh, that was fucking great. Like,
right.
I hated that in a good way.
Dude, you killed that gnome. What the
Oh yeah.
fuck?
That was- yeah, and and we almost saved him so many times just for him to be decapitated.
Yeah, and let me the fiend being as bad as it was actually Shelby's decision. Because
Oh,
I wrote on Shelby's paper that when we were passing notes back and forth while they were possessed was something to the effect of it's going to like pose you to like look like you're about to kill this gnome. It doesn't want to kill the gnome. It doesn't want to complete this ritual. None of that. And then Shelby was like, I can do one better. And then just, boom. Okay. I guess I'll edit this character a little bit
oh. So, all right,
because you said that the fiend made you do it.
nice. Okay, well, that makes me feel a lot better about some of the choices I've made then,
Yeah.
because that was that slice. I don't want to say that slice was the beginning of the end, but it certainly was the beginning of.
Yeah. The fiend just wanted to cause some terror and some
Mhm.
panic. It didn't want anyone to die.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it did, and as soon as Shelby said the
Oh,
fiend wanted it.
now that you said that, I feel like there was, like thinking back, there was very few times where the fiend actually killed people.
No. Never,
I
not
don't
once.
think, I think like there was a,
Not until Shelby said it happened.
yeah, well, there was one where it was like pretty directly inferred that the fiend was like, yes, kill the farmer, essentially. Like, yeah, please, dude, like, uh, turn your soul to the dark side, essentially,
Yeah.
but did not do it themselves.
Yeah.
Which, yeah,
Yeah. Happy to corrupt.
yeah,
But
yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's one of those things too, where I'm hoping in the next, because the way I auditioned everyone
yeah.
was very like um Quinby, and
Sure.
the Potion Emporium was like, he was farting rainbow dust, and you turn into like the a person who can't tell a lie.
Yeah, yeah. If I can just do a quick interruption here, I'm not sure that your audition prepared people for my DM.
That's what that's exactly where I'm going, because it was
Okay.
very goofy, and like Quimby's lab has the anti-death circle, where if you die, like if you go below the 10,
Yeah.
-10, then you die, but you auto stabilize and are brought up to 0 health. It's like an auto healing thing, so that way nobody dies in his experiments, hopefully.
Right. Unless something really wild happens.
Yeah, but then he can resurrect them with his trumpet archon.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But yeah, when we got to that point, it was like Carl, as a director and producer, is like, this is great fucking story. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's so good. Like, just the visceral image of Virilius sitting in the room alone with the Ribbert soul jar
Yeah.
alone was just like
Yeah.
masterpiece to me. You know what I mean? But then at the same time, like looking back on it, it's like, Shelby, Logan, and Kyle, like sweet little goofball.
Didn't sign up for this.
Shining shit. Yeah, just like, it's like, well, but it's good. It's great. And it, like, the characters we built from there, and the things that happened again, like where Cheems left, and all of that. And then Ribbert, finally essentially accepting that, there was a different path to take. I feel like, to me, the overall story was, like, if I had to put a theme on it, was just growth,
Oh yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah.
Where you have even with the friends that you have and that you love and you care for. I think I put it in a Discord message that might not be there anymore, but it was essentially like, you can love your friends without having to be part of them, that type of thing. And I think that it's that's just an interesting.
Ooh. I did not read that. I will read that. Or
Oh, did you?
I will have Carl read that to me now.
I will. Let me look that up, man. I'm sorry. This past week has been, both my daughter and my wife got sick, like very, very bad sick. Thankfully, Tegan recovered quickly, but
What a nice time for you to introduce me to them.
yeah. Oh, no, they are, yeah, it's good. Yes, here's my sick friends. So yeah, I would say, I will read this here in a moment, because I think we're getting close to wrapping up
Yeah.
the epilogue. But again, I think thrust upon them. The funny thing too is the initial introduction, which I think is in episode 2. I had both Trevor and Logan come over to my house for probably like an hour or two before one of our sessions, and I had taken what you wrote for the intro, and kind of like twisted it into like a funny,
Yeah.
epic thing, and talking about how these morons, this group of delinquents, if you will, hoodlums, yeah, might not, shenanigan doers, how they might they might go and do things, but even though they don't want to be great, that greatness will always be thrust upon them,
Whether they want it or not.
whether they want it or not. And I think, even though that wasn't necessarily the through line, that it became like, it was almost like a prophecy,
Yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah.
And because especially with Ribbert becoming what Ribbert's going to become. Um, it was a funny thing to say before we improved our way to it.
There was before you read that,
Yeah.
I want to say one more thing. Um, there was, I don't know when this happened, but it was sometime in the middle where there was a moment when I saw it in like everyone's eyes at the same time. I don't remember what was happening in game, but like you all kind of looked at each other and you're like, we are way higher level than we act like we are.
Mm,
Like we are so powerful, but we're doing like these childish antics and things. It was
I
like,
know exactly when it was.
okay, yeah, if you can enlighten me.
Because I think you said something at the time because they were. I think it was just after Cheems left. Um, because I had the 1v3 with the mind flayers,
Yeah,
and I was like, I am fucked. And then I won, and I was
by
like,
the skin of your teeth.
oh, for sure. But it was like,
Yeah,
you don't pull that off as a beginning adventurer.
right.
You know what I mean? So it was like, oh, like we have more power. And then immediately after that, uh, there was like they were going into the shadow
Plane of
plane
shadows.
of shadows, and just a random thing, and there was like a random peasant. It was like kind of ominous, and everyone was like, should we party up together? Should we party? And you're like, yeah, you're not a level 15 fucking blue mage or a level 21, truth speaker or whatever the thing Virilius's bonus was, or
Yeah.
and they were like, oh, you're right. I'm gonna walk alone with this person into a dark alley. It's like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was certainly one of the moments. I was thinking of something a little earlier than that, but
Oh, good.
I can't place it.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we'll see it again. But yeah, it is very funny that we yeah, and like even asking questions like when I asked you about Quimby's epilogue, like, can we trick this guy into drinking a potion? You're like, yeah, a high level mage could do that. And I'm like, oh yeah, forgot I'm a level 15 mage. Um,
Yeah.
Sweet.
The comment.
The comment. Uh, yes, our comment on our last episode says, I know this is a little longer, but I mean every word. From J. Wilson 8272.
Whoever that is.
Yeah, don't put your credit card number in your YouTube commenter name.
Unless you also include the 3 numbers on the back.
Yeah, I wanted to give a sincere thank you. This is my first endeavor into D&D, and I enjoyed it even more than I thought I would. I've said it before, but watching you guys helped me keep me in creation mode for my own book saga. It even has me thinking it could be turned into a campaign. I appreciate the time, effort, and creativity of everyone that was involved, cast, present, and past. Kudos on making the podcast interactive, the chat suggestions, opening up the Discord, and voting on the after show, to give a couple examples. The fact that as a viewer I was able to create a character now that lives on and may show up in future campaigns is exciting and encouraging for my own creativity. Also, a very cool way to immerse your audience. Again, you guys and gals truly inspire people, whether you believe it or not. I look forward to seeing what Lawler does in the future. Thank you. Your fellow adventurer, Jay.
Wow. Yeah, that was very well written. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And again, we, like, as fun as it is to play, and as fun as it is to, get together in a group, this is my first foray into doing it as a podcast style. And as a person who streamed during COVID when I did art, it was nice to have people interact. But the way that you, Jay Will, and the rest of everyone else, Tassie, and I would say all 9 of you, but I'll forget one and I'll feel terrible.
Other Mike.
Other Mike,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Darkness Wolf, like I could go on and on.
Dingy.
Yeah, Dingy.
And here we are trying to name them.
And here we are trying to name him. Yeah, and we're gonna.
And everyone, it's the end of the Oscars. Oh no, we're being dragged off stage.
Yeah.
We had the full list.
But it just makes it so much more. I don't want to say empowering, but like I hope it's empowering for you.
Yeah, I said it. I think at the end of, I don't know, 98% of our episodes or whatever, where like reading you guys' comments in the chat is like the best part of the after show for me.
Yeah.
And even like during the game, just like You guys gave me a couple ideas here and there that I immediately incorporated.
Yeah.
And like just the fact that anyone cares about our silly little dice game is so
Amazing.
cool.
Yeah. And I am thinking of ways to uh, maybe do more interactive things in the future within reason.
Yeah.
But there's
If we get hundreds of followers, we're gonna have to make a poll for votes.
yeah, exactly. So, there's definitely things in the works for interactivity, Patreon subscriptions, things of that nature.
Wind chimes plushie with real knives.
Yes, there's a lot to be done. Um, but for now, Thrust Upon Them is complete. And I want to say a quick thank you to Trevor.
Yes.
And I want to say a quick thank you to Carl, not me, the other Carl who played Nuri. I want to say a quick thank you to Logan. I want to say a quick thank you to Kyle. And I want to say a very big quick thank you to Shelby, our main character. Really put the low rolls in the
Yeah.
Legend of Low Rolls. And obviously, an amazing, gratuitous thank you to Adam and to Katie, who also came and participated
Three
in
episodes.
3 episodes, but also, I would say more importantly, allows us to continue to be dipshits and loud in her house.
Yeah.
And will join us in campaign 2,
Yes.
which I'm very much looking forward to. And
I absolutely can forget the grippy plush. Thank you very much.
yeah, that's your one for the episode. So yeah, we will be starting. So just for everyone's information, we will not be streaming next week.
Yep.
Next week is our session 0. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's essentially, you can explain it here.
Yeah, so we're all going to get together. We're going to talk about the characters that we're thinking about making, finalize any like details on character sheets, get some like feedback from our friends, like, oh, you're also doing that? Maybe I shouldn't step on your toes, or how cool would it be if we worked on that together? And all those sort of details, fleshing out backstories, and then I'll go over sort of the um, beginning settings of the campaign so that we're all on board. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want another 2 Foghorn Leghorn lawyers
Right.
showing up in one
And just a little spoiler, not spoiler, but sneak preview for everybody. Campaign 2, as I've alluded to a couple of times now, is going to have more of a set story, but they will be beginning on a ship. We have a couple of plans for how we might do the first couple of episodes. We might have a couple of individual episodes or a couple like pairs where we only like spotlight 2 characters at a time and their interactions, and then we bring in the full cast together and they like talk about what they've been doing separately. And then the boat's going to crash, and that's where the real campaign begins.
All right, I'm looking forward to it, and I really like the idea. I think we got great feedback from Virilius's solo episode.
Yeah.
And how people enjoyed the idea. So I think starting off with the having 2
pairs of 2.
2 pairs of 2 is a very
really like
exciting idea. Yeah.
And we might do more of those in the future as well. Where, hey, these 2 characters are going to go off into that cave, but another time-sensitive thing is happening over there. So we're going to split the party and have 2 little one-off episodes before everyone comes back.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Fun. Yeah, and we could even, there's a lot to talk about in session 0. Yeah, so then we're going to do that. And then the following, let's see, let me check real quick, because that's going to be the 23rd. So the 23rd, we will be starting. Oh, and also paperwork. I have to update everybody's paperwork, except for yours. I think all the other performers.
They don't want to hear about
that. Yeah. You don't know that. Someone might be like, "Oh, fuck yeah, I've been waiting for the lawyer shit." Yeah, the 23rd will be the first stream of campaign 2. All new characters, all new players. Kyle will be reprising he will not be reprising. Sorry. He will be appearing again. Katie will be appearing again, and Mike will be appearing again. So old faces, new characters, new story.
We're gonna have a Ruby Knight Vindicator and a Warlock. Those are the only 2 characters I know about for sure.
Yeah, Ruby Knight Vindicator, hell yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I have a couple ideas rolling around. I think
Mike had some ideas, but I can't remember what they were.
Pastor.
Oh. Hmm.
That's the only thing I've heard so far, and it sounded funny. So I might be looking forward to it. But yeah, I have like 20 ideas in my head, and I think that's the whole point of Session Zero,
Yep.
and that's actually how Cheems came into existence. Was just coming to the first session, and Logan was like, "Oh, I'm going to be a jester," and I was like, "Oh, what goes well with a jester? A fucking monkey, dancing monkeys," and that's how
Yeah.
I came up with honestly one of my favorite characters that I've ever made in a D&D campaign. Just love that sweet little boy who's no longer a monkey. So I don't know if I can sell the plushies.
Well, I mean,
The
he
clean
he does have
conscience.
the potions.
Oh, he does. Yeah, we're good. All right, we're all good. It's all above board. So yeah, make sure you guys take care of yourselves for the week off.
Yep.
Um, get rested up because when we come back with campaign 2, it's going to start hopefully. Well, I wouldn't say with a bang. It's going to be 2 episodes, and then it's going to be a bang.
That's right.
So be here, be ready, and we love you, and we thank you so much for all of the support and all of the camaraderie and all of the friendship that you guys have given us.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better.
Sweet. Well, then we'll leave it there. Love you guys. We'll see you
Bye.
soon.